Hello, my name is Vincent. I'm going to talk about the drinking by sea snakes from oceanic freshwater. This is at first rainfall ending, seasonal drought. Traditionally, many marine vertebrates are thought to be live independently from direct source of fresh water, especially sea snakes, because of their salt glands. And reality is salt glands are small and cannot process large amount of salt. And this is snake's salt glands. And this is Hydrophis platerus, also called yellow-bellied sea snake. This is the only pelagic species of squamate reptile and drifting with currents. And despite it lives in the ocean, it still dehydrates and during periods of seasonal drought. In the open sea, the only freshwater sources is rainfall. And during the rainfall, during the intense precipitation, rainwater floats temporarily on top of the seawater due to the lower density and forming a freshwater lens. And the low density is float on the higher density. And this study was held in Costa Rica from May 5 to 14 in 2017. And where drought lasts over half years. So it is a great place to watch their behavior. And they total captured 99 snakes over 8 mornings. And they capture using handheld deep nets during their float and wait posture on the sea surface. And they using a portable salinity refractometer measure the salinity of water at the same time. And here's how they measure the seawater drink, how many water. After they capture the sea snakes, they were immediately sent to the laboratory and held in a cooler and let them lying on a dry towel until the skin was touched to dry to touch. Because this is to ensure they can measure the weight accurately. After measure their initial mass, the sea snakes will place in a container with fresh water for 20 hours. After 20 hours, they measure their mass, use the same method, and they can quantify the freshwater intake by mass increase overnight. After they measured, they used tail clippings to ensure new individuals were sampled. And these figures, axis is days and y-axis is salinity. So we can see the salinity drop down after day 2 because there's a heavy rain during the day 2 and day 3, and surface salinity decrease following the rainfall. So this create a great condition for the sea snakes to drink water. And this figure's y-axis is snakes drink percent, and we can see the first 2 days is before rains. About 80% of snakes drink fresh water immediately after capture, but after rains, after day 2, the percentage dropping nearly, and the day 8 increased to the 17%. The cloud icon means precipitation during that day's afternoon or evening. So this shows the mean size of drinkers and non-drinkers. Drinkers' mean size is smaller than non-drinkers, so we suggest smaller individuals are more sensitive to dehydration than larger ones. Although there was no significant correlation between body mass and the amount of water they drink. And this is a discussion one. There's another way they could possibly get fresh water is coastal injuries. And by the researchers they don't see snakes were sighted along the coastal estuaries over many years. So we can show again the sea snakes are only drinking water by the rainfall. And this is called binge drink. And another study shows that a sea snake called sea kraits, they emerge to drink from rock pools after drought. It's alike to this snake. So just binge drinks means they drink a lot of water at a short time. And finally, the findings have serious implication for climate change. As tropical droughts become more frequency and intense, the survival of pelagic populations is at risk. We also need to question the common assumption to another sea animals like turtles and fish is need fresh water or not.
I want to ask about what was the age or maturity distribution of the 99 sea snakes collected.
Which page? 99. Okay. This.
Methods. Last page. 99 here.
Oh, just they total capture 99 snakes.
What was the age maturity about the 99 snakes?
Okay, sorry. Yes. Please repeat the question.
What was the age or maturity distribution of the 99 snakes?
Age. There is no record.
Okay, thank you.
You have collected binge drink. That is drink water in a very short time. And do you find why what would call sea snake after binge drink? What will influence sea snake after binge drink?
I don't know.
Uh,
I just know because they are dehydration. So if there's a fresh water coming, they will have this active called binge drink because they were dehydration.
Why did the number of thirsty snakes decrease after rainfall?
Oh, because the rainfall is between day 2 and day 3. So another sea snakes not captured on the sea is drink the rain before. So after they catch, they are not really that dehydrated.
Thank you.
Okay, Vincent, you know you are a tall guy, right? And can you stand here or a little bit over? Okay. It's not a good practice to go to the stage and start your talk like this, you know? Okay? That makes you look like a phone addicted person. So if you really need your phone, put it like this. Don't do this, really. I warn you. That really make you phone addicted. I know you are phone addicted. Me too. Okay, but don't do that. And then at the beginning of your talk, your sentence was a little bit blurry, unclear, blurry, like that. So you need to make your pronunciation clearer, and you need to improve your fluency. That means you need to practice more time. And another way to make your talk easier to follow is, especially at the beginning, it's very blurry. Please practice using pointer, mouse, okay? And based on the QA, I feel your QA session, especially the QA with Sarah, is better than your talk. So next time, please look at them. Look at your audience. All right, so let's start with the beginning. So you know your talk was too short. That means you need to add something to your introduction. And based on the discussion later, my suggestion for you to add is maybe you can tell us something about the drinking behavior of reptiles. Like reptiles on land, you can focus on snake and reptile in the sea. Tell us something about their drinking behavior. Because the paper is an interesting paper, but it's a short paper. So you need to add something. And that's something you can add, and it will be an interesting thing to add. So at the beginning, do that. Then in page 2, you have this squamate. Please explain us next time what is the term here. Then in page 3, you have this pronunciation. Yushih, how do you pronounce this? That sounds correct, but it wasn't like that during your talk. So you can check your video later. Precipitation. And from page 3 to 4, something's missing. Your purpose. What is exactly the purpose of the study? Add one dedicated slide explaining the full sentence. We want to blah, blah, blah. Your purpose. And regarding the page 6 and 7, I like them because you use this nice cartoon to explain. However, I feel because you don't have too many words on your slide, like this and that. In that case, in that sense, I suggest that you should consider enlarge your text. Make it larger so that your slide don't look that empty. Empty is not good. So always make your slides large, with large words or large figure. Then you start to talk about the data, and apparently this is an important figure, and you did it well because you remember to introduce the axis. However, you just say it's day. Day of what? Then I realized here, oh, beginning of the wet season. You should say that, okay? Then you can still say that, don't you? Because I was wondering, day of what? That's something you need to explain clearly. Day of what? And then, I suggest that you can, that this proportion can change a little bit. Make this larger and make this smaller, and condense the text and make this larger. The same here. Your figure is the most important data that you should make it large. All right, and this one is also you make this larger. Then this one, you stop introducing your figure, and you start to tell us the conclusion, like a drinker and non-drinker. I don't know how this is connected to this. I don't know. And then what is the conclusion from this figure? But then you need to guide us to tell us how they, because in this figure, how do you know which one is drinker, which one is non-drinker? I don't know. So your data should be connected to your statement. Very important. That's scientific presentation. So this one, this, and this is disconnected. Improve this next time. All right, and the discussion part is interesting, but I suggest that you should probably move these two slides, move some of the content to the introduction to introduce the drinking behavior of reptiles. Because this discussion is actually not that much connected to your data, I think here. So this one may be somehow connected, but this one is a little bit like what we know about the drinking behavior of a reptile, something like that. So you can move it to the front. And then for the final part, I repeat that many times. I really don't like this kind of big and empty words. So for your conclusion, you should repeat very specifically what is known from your study. What people will only know from your talk, from this study. Not this climate change everything. I don't like that. So change it next time. Make it specific to your own content. Hope to see improvement next time. Thank you.